Yo, my peoples, what's up? Welcome to the One Stop Co-op Shop. Jason here, and today I have a solo playthrough for Everdell Farshore. This is the first standalone game in the Everdell universe after the basic set. On the One Stop Co-op Shop, we have playthroughs of the basic set and as well as its many expansions. That original product cycle is complete. Moving forward, we're going to get standalone games in the Everdell universe called The Edge of the Map, and Farshore is the first. Farshore retains many of the core concepts of the original Everdell. You're going to have your adorable creatures. They're going to be deployed to worker placement spots. You're going to gather resources, pay for cards, critters, and constructions, and build your city. That much is carried over from the original Everdell. Where you're going to get some difference is the way in which you play your cards will influence your little creature here on the boat. They're going to sail around the area over here, scoring points, getting treasure. In the next section of the video, I will explain the main differences between Farshore and Everdell. After that, let's go ahead and tackle a solo playthrough versus
Yar, me hearties, I'm Buddy Redclaw. Its sea is mine. Get out of Farshore. You are not welcome here. Sorry about that.
Looks like I'm going to be able to take advantage of Bonnie's emphysema from smoking on the high seas and try to take over Everdell Farshore from the Dastardly Pirates. So let's get on to some channel announcements and my feature for Everdell Farshore. The most important aspect of Everdell were the cards, so let's talk about the cards in Farshore first. So there are some cards that are one-for-one transfers from the basic game. So like you have the inn, play a card from the bay for 3 fewer resources, you put your worker there. Works the same exact way in the base game, something like that. Activate a production in your city, also works the same exact way. So you're going to have a little bit of overlap. Here is a little bit of a different reworked card. Post office, place your worker there. Discard any number of cards from your hand, then play a card for that many fewer resources. In the original game, the post office let you draw a bunch, and then you had to figure out another way to play them. Here, they skip a step and let you discard cards to play directly. So I noticed that the resources in general are a little bit more constrained, and there's a few more ways to use your cards directly as resources. It's a quicker, snappier game overall. Not like my little Everdell. This is definitely a step above the family version. But in terms of a tighter game that's a little bit snappier, I think Farshore is in that vein. Another thing that happens, these are your special spaces, like in Everdell. But in Farshore, after the summer season, we get the high tide, and these are going to disappear, cutting off access to resources. Again, a little bit resource constrained, but the trade-off is you'll have cards and combos to accommodate to a little bit of a different way forward. Everdell was famous for building your construction cards and then using that construction card to chain into its associated critter. They open things up here a little bit. So let's say I have this in my area, which is the tumbler, and it is a production construction. Instead of having any particular critter attached to it, I now have access to 3 different anchor tokens. So if this is in my play area, then I would use an anchor token, and then I would be able to purchase this sea chip for free. That is a production building. As long as production and production match, I can match construction to critter. New Leaf did this. The last expansion for Everdell, where they opened up the chains of getting construction and critters together, so it carries forward in Farshore. Speaking of open things up, making things easier to qualify for, these in the original Everdell, you had to have the exact right pair of cards. Here, when you go to this space, you can claim these advanced scoring tokens anytime you satisfy these general conditions. Once again, I have a feeling the feedback came in being frustrated with having to seek out exact cards, so they made it more general and more accessible. Now you're probably asking me, really? That's it? In terms of a new edition of Everdell? I want to see something new. Okay, this is the beginning of the new. It very much changes up the rhythm of the way you play your cards. So these are the Windrose tiles. There are 2 piles A and B, and they're 4 deep, corresponding to the 4 seasons: winter, spring, summer, fall. So in the winter, I'm incentivized to build common production buildings. That means that in the winter, if I build a common building, I'm able to move the track over one, or if I build a production building, I'm able to move one as well. If I build a common production building, then I would be able to move two because I've satisfied both tiles. So that is a huge difference from the basic game. That's why you're here, to get that different rhythm of card play. In the first game, you were mostly engine building. In this game, you are balancing engine building and trying to satisfy the windrose tiles. You can engine build and prioritize what you're doing, but you might not make much progress. Or you can try to build as many of what the windrose tiles tell you and make a lot of progress. That might not be the most effective engine. That back and forth really changes up the headspace of Farshore. So then after the last player passes and then everybody is in spring, we would discard these. And then you would see the next one. It would be unique red buildings, and then on and on. We would be blue construction buildings. We get the bonus, etc. And there are plenty of cards that combo with that. So like you have this crow's nest, move your ship 3 spaces. Other cards let you get additional movement, discard cards for movement, etc. In addition, you might have noticed that there are treasures on this track. Well, the treasures are worth 2 points at the end of the game, so you might want to end with a big pile. Or if you're really strapped for resources, this is a wild resource. So I said that resources were a little bit harder to get. Now you have a push and pull. You are going to get a fair number of treasures. You want to use them to do your engine building stuff or keep them for your points. And so that's what you're in for, a different geometry, pulling your strategic brain to and fro between these windrose tiles and whatever engine you're trying to build on the cards. For me, as a veteran Everdell player, I can say it does feel different. If you want to explore further, then I would invite you to keep on watching the playthrough. In this playthrough, I'm going to face the aforementioned Bonnie Redclaw. She has a number of mechanisms, but I think I will let those emerge as I get into the first few rounds, and you'll have a sense for how to play Everdell Farshore. All right, ready to begin the solo playthrough? First thing you do is you check your windrose tiles. Right now, I have bonuses for building common red cards, which are destination cards. I have a couple of these destination cards in my hand. They both happen to be common, which is really nice, so that gives me an early focus. And I like the post office, so let's go ahead and get that one built. Beginning by going here. So I'm going to get 1 driftwood, 1 seaweed, I think that is, and 1 mushroom. The seaweed is nice and rubberized, so is the mushroom. Premium components, at least for this mass market level of game, that continues here with Farshore. Every time the player goes, then it will be time for the bot's turn. And here is Bonnie.
You took the best spot right away, you landlubber. You'll pay for that.
First, they place the worker pieces, and they do so by playing this card. They don't get resources, they just get in your way. You have a 1, 2, 3 for priority. The seaweed's place is open, so they are going to block that space.
I hope you wanted that space, Sand Pounder. It is now mine and you can't have it.
Well, too bad, bot. I wanted to go here and get my gem and draw a card. Anytime you draw a card, you draw from the top of the deck unless the game says otherwise. It is, a lighthouse keeper. They're really, really nice. The bot plays their second to last. It's going to be on the mushroom space. Good thing I was not interested in the mushrooms. I've placed all of my meeples. Time to build. All right, so I got my 3 builder resources, and now I'm going to build my post office. So here is the thing about Everdell. So in a normal game of Everdell, the overwhelming amount of the time you would play your production cards because you only get it twice. If you play it in winter, you'll be able to fire it off twice for the breaks, get a third one for the play, lots of production. Here, I went for this particular type of building because I am taking advantage of the windrose tiles. So I have common, the destination. Look at that, common destination. So I get credit for proccing this thing twice. 1, 2, I am on my way. And I get myself the neat little treasure, which is either 2 points at the end of the game or a wild token when I need it. So it is the bot's turn now. They're out of workers. So they are going to play cards one at a time after every one of my turns until the end of the season.
Because I'm a filthy cheater.
All right, let's see what they play. They play Customs Office. That's not so bad. They're going to get 2 points for every one of their non-purple cards, even though it says that. Don't worry about that. It's 2. And they just get it. Next thing you do is you check this prioritization card. This is there to basically make sure that the bot gets a balanced amount of points. So they played a blue, so they're going to move up on blue. So they're going to prioritize taking blue, but eventually it's going to move off the track and they won't take any more blue. That is how the deck balances. But for now, we got one blue in the bank. So here's another one where I'm using a resource in a different way because of the Windrose tiles. Normally I wouldn't do this in a game of Everdell, but I have this anchor. I'm going to use it right now while the getting's good. And I'm going to summon a critter. The red card to a red card. It is the steward. Place a meeple here. Activate 2 different one of these things in your city. Fantastic. That allows me to move forward another 2, and I get another token for it. So my engine is weak, but I was able to make a lot of progress on the ship. That is the trade-off. All right, I play a card, bot plays a card, so they're going to play the Crow's Nest. It is red. It is not common. It's unique, so they only get credit for the 1.
They're getting away from us, boys. Go get them.
Yes, mother. I mean, master.
At the beginning of the game, you do choose which version of the bot you want to face. Bashful is the easiest one. Bold is what I'm playing, which is 2. So they're going to move 2 per Windrose tile they hit.
Hoist the sails. Don't let him get away.
And they're very close on me, and they're going to go get their treasure. Cheating bot. So I pass out of winter into spring. The bot passes as well. That's automatic. We get 1 worker each off of the lighthouse. So we're going to be placing 3 next turn. And we fire off any production that we have. The bot doesn't have any, wouldn't do anyway. I don't have any because I made that choice. And the last player, which is going to be me, is going to shuffle the Windrose tiles. So then these are going to get discarded from the game, and we are going to uncover unique production buildings. And oh, by the way, I forgot to mark this because they got a red. They're going to move up on this priority track right there. And they are going to do their prepare for season. They get their extra worker. They would get a scoring tile, but they don't qualify yet. And they also take 4 cards from the deck just blind. And that's going to be their deck for the turn. And that is it for winter. That should tell you everything you need to know about the bot. Let's go ahead and really get into this playthrough. It is now spring in my quest for unique production buildings. Let's start with getting that driftwood, that mushroom, and that seaweed. All right, for the bot's turn, they are going to check out their red area, but they don't have one, which means that they are going to move 2.
Get to their broadsides. Knock them over.
Wait a minute, this is a Euro game.
What? I can't attack you? What's the point?
But wait a minute, look, we have some treasure. Let's have treasure together.
Okay, I guess I won't attack you for now.
All right, so let's go ahead and visit my snazzy post office and get ourselves a warehouse. The post office says discard any number of cards from your hand, play a card for that many fewer resources. So let's go ahead and get rid of this lightning keeper, which is a double, and this postal pigeon, which in the old game, those comboed. In the new game, not so much. The warehouse says, when played, place 2 of those resources there, and then when played and during production phases, gain 2 of those resources. So we are going to put a whole dump load of resources on there and take the mushrooms. We refill the area with a rope bridge, which is, ooh, good card draw. I might need that if I'm going to be discarding cards for stuff. Let's see where Bonnie goes.
Ah! You got your mushrooms already. I don't like the way you cheat. Only I can cheat on the high seas.
The reason I took those mushrooms is because I wanted to play this Lighthouse Keeper. So good. It is unique, so I do get progress on the track. And whenever I play a card, I draw a card. That is outstanding. So those mushrooms are gone. I played a unique card, so I move 1.
Have a nice day.
Ah, get back here. I thought you said this was a Euro.
It is, that's why I'm getting out of here.
They draw the next card. The special area is taken, so they're going to place their last meeple blocking the driftwood. And so here is where those treasures really come in handy. Spend them. Don't just sit on them for points. So I'm going to use these 2 wilds and these 2 resources. That satisfies this condition. 2 driftwood, 2 seaweed. To get the sloop, it is a unique construction. That is a green. So we are going to move 2 away.
Oh, you're getting further and further away. I'm so tired.
I get to move my boat 2 spaces as a production building. That is so outstanding. And I did pass a treasure, so I get one of those back. Card that replaces it is the shipwreck. Don't have another shipwreck out there. As a rule that I didn't cover in the overview, if there was a double, then you would place the card on top of it and then draw again. There is no double. Haven't encountered that, I don't believe. Catch me in the rules if you find me putting doubles out there. Not supposed to do that. And because of my lighthouse keeper, I drew a card, which is going to be Grove. Ooh. Okay, I might want some more mushrooms. All right, so bot is done placing workers. They're going to add to their city. They are going to add a Gubna. Ooh. Their purples are worth 6 points. So that is not good at all. And it is a unique, so they're going to make a little bit of progress on the track. They'll make progress right there. And also right there, getting them a treasure. All right, so I'm not going to tolerate this. I'm using my second of 3 really early. Don't know if this is smart, but now I'm mad. All right, so we are going to play the C chip. Out of my hand, we're going to activate 1 in my city. Guess what that's going to be? Move your boat 2 spaces.
Hey girls, put your back into it. Show 'em we can do. Row, 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 row. Yay, there's treasure, yay!
And for playing a card, I draw a card, which is the Diver. Another production building. Can pay up to 3 resources to gain some tokens. Very nice. And that was a green building, so I progress 1 more.
I feel like this game is getting away from me. Boys, work harder.
All right, unique construction. Not happy with all the uniques they're getting. And they're also diversifying a little bit on their cards. So now they're right on my Tookus, and they get their 4th treasure. So now, taking advantage of the fact that I have all these destination cards, activate 2 different production buildings in my city. I'm going to move forward another 2 spaces and activate 1 in your city. Move forward 2 spaces. Can I activate production buildings twice in 1 turn? Maybe you can. I'm not exactly sure. But just to kind of skip on that particular rules question, let me go ahead and activate the warehouse instead, which will get me these 2 gems. And also continue my surge away from the bot. Very excited that I kept pace. The last game I played of this, I was way behind. So I was determined not to do that again. All right, so they're going to play the last card in their hand. They're going to have 6. I'm going to have 6. They played 3 workers. I played 3 workers. We're all even. So now we have the rope bridge. It is common. It is not production, so they don't go nowhere. They do move this up. So now you check because it is the end of the season. I got nothing else going on. They got 2 of these travelers, 1 special, 1 destination, and 2 blue. They do not qualify for any of the special rewards, so they don't get them, at least for now. So I get to draw 2. It's going to be the Tangle Raft for a possible 4th production and the Galley moving more spaces. Love the idea of that. We got some new cards coming. Another Tangle Raft. And the Garden's a special card. Okay, so now the rules change a bit for what the bot does. So I get all of my workers back, including another one. That's going to be 4. So does the bot. They get their workers, 3 plus the 1. And now their setup turns a little bit different. So instead of drawing blind from the deck, they're going to draw from the central area relative to their progress card. All right, so let's get this a little bit more in the shot. They do get some cards. They get 6 of them out of the bay relative to the priority here. So first they take the Gardens because that is the priority. And now they cannot take any more cards. And this is not a play. This is to draw. So this is going to go in their draw pile for next turn. So they don't take the manor, at least for now, because in terms of the priority. So there are no the blue, so they are going to start taking the these things. So then we're going to go that way, and we're going to get the rope bridge. That's going to be their second card. All right, so let's keep going. So we have, there are no reds, so they are going to take the production buildings, 1, 2. So that is what they are going to do. Now, the rules do say, though, when the bot is actually playing the cards, they're not able to draw from the bay, they get from the top deck, so we're just going to do it that way. So we are going to take from the top deck, we're not going to look at them, and we are going to shuffle those up. So the function is that we generally know what the bot has and when they're going to score it, so it definitely affects our decision-making next turn for when I start to make these majorities, and I can start going for the special tiles. Only I don't know exactly when they're going to come, so that's kind of a push and pull that I'm playing with the bot. So, all right, we are going to refill this market for next turn. Beach Sledge, fantastic. Get 2 Driftwood, a Merchant, get to do some exchanges, a Scavenger, get 1, let's see, what is that? I think that is a any. Okay, I like the sound of that. And the Market. When playing a card, you may discard this market to pay for 3 fewer resources. There's a few of those in the deck. And oh, by the way, at the end of spring towards summer, high tide, we better have prepared our personal space to maximize what we're getting, because we're not going to get it from the special space anymore. In the multiplayer, it's 2 of these tiles. In solo, it is your only 1. Very last thing of the turn. Let's see what the new Windrose is. We got blue construction. On to round 3. All right, it is the beginning of summer. And I'm going to use my favorite steward, activate 2 in my city. That's going to be getting 2 of these driftwood off here. The warehouse is almost empty. And we are going to use, there you are, move 2 spaces.
You're so far away, you can't even hear me yelling.
What was that? I don't know.
All right, we got the next bot. They have their 4, and they are going to occupy this gem area first. That's kind of unfortunate, but oh well. Speaking of driftwood, let's go ahead and spend these 2 driftwood right away for the Tangle Raft. Gain 1 seaweed, that's fine. Common construction. Construction is important because that is 1 of the Windrose tiles. Bringing me to that treasure right there. As the bot continues to shut me off on the board. So all sorts of reasons why to build up my personal area. And oh, by the way, the bot cannot invade your red spaces like they could in the open versions of the previous card of Everdell. Your red spaces are your red spaces. And I probably should have done this first when I played that card. Thank you, Lighthouse Keeper. I'm going to draw a card. That is the Abbey. Oh, yes, common construction. Play a card from your hand for 3 fewer resources. Oh, I might want to get this played right now. In order to do so, I need 3 more driftwood. And this is why the bot has a long priority. So that is shut down. That is occupied. So they are going to go to the docks right there. The docks doesn't do the normal for a player, which is discard 3 cards to gain 1 resource for each card discarded. Instead, we are going to go 1, 2, and...
Can you see them? Can you see them, boys?
They're over there.
I know they're over there, but can you see them?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm surrounded by competence.
Let's go ahead and get that Abbey played for 2 of our driftwood and 1 gem. So now I have a 3rd space open to me. Play a card from your hand for 3 fewer resources. I got a plan for you there. And when I play a card, I draw a card. That is the inn. Usually pretty attractive, but once I get to 3 spaces, there's only so many places I can go. So discard far too likely. See what the bot does. Covered, docks. So this is an open space because it has the multiple web feet in there. If it only had 1, then only 1 person can go there, but this has multiple, and they are going to move forward 1.
You see? Keep it up, guys.
We haven't slept in 3 days.
You want to sleep for the rest of your lives? Keep sailing.
Okay, at least we found this treasure.
My mighty little empire is growing. We're going to go to the post office, discard any number of cards from your hand, and play a card for that many fewer resources. A good thing my Lighthouse Keeper has been the hidden MVP. So we are going to play the Galley, which is very, very attractive. We are going to discard 3 of my cards for to lop off 2 of the wood and 1 of the seaweed. I got 1 wood and 1 seaweed left, so that is all the resources that I need to play the Galley. It is a Traveler card, which is a 1-shot. Move your boat 3 spaces.
Hey, where'd they go?
Row, row, Whoa, they're gaining on us. Keep on going, girls. You got it. Hey, a goodie. Let's keep rowing.
So now when they play cards in the summer season, they do not adjust the plan card. That's only for when they draw, and they'll take care of that next year. So they're just going to play into the deck. They're going to play the Illuminator, and that is going to be, I believe, did they achieve their threshold yet? No, they only have 2 red cards so far. So they still haven't achieved any of their goals yet. And oh, by the way, I did play 2 constructions, so let me go ahead and give myself credit for that now. From the Windrose tile. And we are going to play the Dunes. So I now qualify because I have the 3 red and 4 production for both of those. I also qualify for this, which is the mix, which is why I played that Traveler's card. The bot likely will qualify for this because they're just lacking the green. So let me go ahead and take the 2-pointer and leave them the 1-pointer. The way these work is that it's 2 per tile. So that if I have all 6 of these tiles, it would be 2 times that, which is 12, or 1 times that, which is 6. 12 is better than 6, so it's better to get these higher ones. See what the bot plays. They are going to play another Illuminator. So now that qualifies them for the red, which is a gamble that I took. So I'm only going to get the 1 point red. They are going to get the 2-point red at the end of the round. All right, so I get all my workers back and an additional 1. That comes being a 5. The bot's going to do that as well. A little bit of a twist. You get to pull cards. So I get to pull the Manor. And I'm going to top deck 1, which is going to be the Harbor. Ooh. Different options for point scoring. We'll see that. Replace that. That is all part of my setup. Fire off my production building. First the warehouse. I get the 2 seaweed and also an additional seaweed from the Tango Raft, giving me 3. I move my boat 2 spaces and I activate 1 of my city, which is going to be move my 1 2 spaces. I really do think that is a thing that I can do.
Stroke, stroke, leave them the dust. Stroke, stroke.
And get 1 treasure.
You fools. How did it come to this? I hope we have a lot of good cards in our pile.
About that.
At the very least, we have the right to cheat.
Cheating means that they take every tile that they're qualified for, which is going to be the 1 multi-card, because they have all 5, and the 2 times the 3 that they have there. And so the only ones that they are missing off of their plan card are blue and green. So they are going to take these 3. They always take 3. Put it in their hand, shuffle it. So these are the cards they're going to play. I'm not sure what order they're going to come out, but I know that they are going for those tiles next. And so the way the game is designed, this is going to be empty and all those tokens are going to be off. So it no longer matters. Their 4th round is going to play a little bit differently. And I will show that as we get into it. What do we got? The Scribe, Common Critter, may discard with 3 cards to both gain 1 point and draw 1 for each. Wow, that's really good. Notice how many more cards let you draw and discard, Definitely a feature of Farshore. Market, we've seen that already. And the Abbey, I haven't gone there yet, but I love my Abbey. And I've been showing these the entire time. These are points. I haven't gotten any points yet. All right, what is the last set of tiles? We have the Traveling and Critter. So go ahead and look out for those in the final round. Final round, before we get started, I'm going to issue a correction. If you see my city, I got my 9. I thought I had all 5. I need this, purple, in order to have claimed that multicolored tile. So did a little bit of a switcheroo. I was eligible for this, so I ended up grabbing this for me because I do have the 3 paws. And unfortunately, the bot is eligible for this multicolor, so they got the better one, and they got the lesser of the paws as well. So the way the bot is scripted, it's going to get everything. So you just have to do your best and try to outscore it. Don't know how I feel about that, but we're going to keep on going. So first of all, we got 1, 2, 3 for Driftwood. In the 4th round, the bot plays very differently. They don't just place their workers because the Everdell game is all about scoring your cards. So they're going to score cards. So they are just going to straight up play their stuff. So they have a green, which they're going to play, and then you check There are only 2 green in the pile that I happen to know of. So when they get 4, they'll be eligible to deploy one of their workers and get that reward. So they're just going to score their points. And they have, I think it's 6 cards in here. So they're just going to play their cards over the turns and then build their city that way. One thing I've been a little bit lax on, I apologize, to the penalty of the bot. I haven't been giving them credit every single time. I will have noted that in the playthrough.
You darn right, you better give us credit. We should be doing a lot better. Hey, boys!
I don't really care. This is just a demo.
That's why you're never going to be in charge of the crew.
Next up, we are going to get the market. The market, you could play 3 of any resource to get it. So let's go ahead and spend 2 of my driftwood and 1 of my seaweed. And the market, when I play it, allows me, when playing a card, you may discard this market from your city to pay 3 for your resources. Got some ideas for that. When I play a card, I draw a card. It's going to be the Pilgrim. Unique critter, 2 for each. Ooh, I plan on getting a few of those. Those are the awards over there. So, yeah, we might actually play that. Very nice. See what comes out on the river, the post office. We've seen that before. The next play from the bot is the Grove, a common construction. It misses everything, but it is now threatening to take my better reward from the green. So that's what I was waiting for. There's going to be plenty of workers here by the end of the game. Let's just take this right now. The bot keeps scoring relentlessly. Gardens, unique construction. The Windrose says traveling critters, so it is not either of those things. But this is worth 6 points to the bot. And they got their second city, or whatever that is, prosperity card, which means they automatically deploy one of their workers and take this better prosperity card for their own. They now have 3 tiles. All right, so next up, not something I would normally do, but I'm going to take advantage of the Windrose. Shipwreck, unique construction. To start a destruction from your city to gain a treasure. The Tangle Raft does not do too much for me. It is a 2-point swing downward, but I get that back in terms of a treasure, and it does progress me 1 because it is not a critter, but it is a traveler, and I do get another treasure out of the deal. Absolutely, I'll take it. And for that play, I get a card. That card is going to be the Inn. Discard fodder if I ever saw it. The bot goes again. Common construction, critter, and travel for the Windrose. Didn't match it, but that gives them 1, 2, 3, 4 production buildings, which is green. They send a worker out to retrieve the lower value production tile, but they have 4. There are 2 cards in the deck. That is going to get them the last 2 tiles. I'm hopeful that I can get that traveler tile, the better one, before the bot gets it. And so that is going to be accomplished, or try to be accomplished, with Hideout. May discard up to 5 cards to both gain 1 and draw 1 for each. So I have the necessary resources, just straight up. So that is 1, 2, 3. Going to discard 3 of the cards that I have and draw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Anything good? Market. Gubna. 2 for each common construction in my city. Maybe I have that. And Tumbler. No, that is not good. And importantly, get 3 points, my first 3 actual shell points of the game. Playing the critter lets me advance another 1. All right, let's take a look. It is blue, and it is not a critter. Wow, I'm getting really lucky with that. What is not lucky, though, is this is blue, and it has, where are you? All the way on the bottom, 2 more, which gives them the 3 that they need. So they are going to automatically assign another worker to get the better tile for them, bringing them up to 5 tiles. But I do have 3 Traveler's cards now, the Shipwreck, the Hideout, and the Galley, which does get me this additional tile, which is worth 2 times the number of tiles which I have, which you can see is 3. So I don't have to change the camera because this is the last bot play. They're going to play this rope bridge. You see they got their last flag. And so they are going to bring their worker over here and claim this flag as well. They have gotten all 6 tiles. The solo bot is about making sure they get as few of the 2 tiles as they can, as many of the ones as they can. There you go. And oh yeah, for that playing that critter, they play 2 as well, and they get 2 more treasure. Let's play the Abbey. I'm going to play a card from my hand for 3 fewer resources. And I'm going to use the market. I'm going to discard the market to pay even fewer resources. So now that brings me down to 1. And I just so happen to have only 1 resource left. That is the seaweed. Goodbye, seaweed. And that is going to be the Manor Unique Construction. I get lots of points and then more points for each common critter. I got 2 of them. So that should help a little bit, right?
Not so fast, you landlubber. You forgot to deal with the strength of my tiles.
You're right, I did. Pretty strong. All right, so they're going to look out. So they have 1 worker left, and that's what they pull this for. And that's going to be their last turn of the game. But like I said, the rules are different for Solobot. They just play out their cards and their workers, and that's it. So then the lookout for them is draw a card that is purple from the bay. There's not one. Get rid of all the production cards. I can go ahead and do that. They get 1 treasure. So that is it. They go ahead and grab 1 more treasure for their prodigious pile, and they have ended their game. And so I still go, and I have 1 more anchor to go. The anchor is going to go on that one, and we are going to put this pilgrim out there. So the pilgrim, they're like to like, they call. And so I'm going to get some points for the tiles that I have. And it is a critter. So I move 1 more. Oh, can I get to this treasure? So I could activate my production stuff, which advances my ship. But that would get me 4 total points. But instead, I now qualify for this last one. I could take either one now. I guess I'll just take that one. I've run out of workers, and that is the end of the game, period. So it's actually super close. The good guy scored 129 off of the points over here, points in the cards, points off the special cards, pile of treasure right there, and some of these tiles. But the bot got me with 133 with the, once again, their treasure, their tiles, which is that's dominant. I mean, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9 times 6. That's basically how you do it. 54 points. Was able to conquer my progress on the sailing track, so they just edged me out.
That's what you get for trying to challenge my supremacy in Farshore. Do you have the stones to try to take me down in my own... Never mind.
Like I said at the beginning of the video, it is Everdell. You will do Everdell things, but there is enough of a remix to offer something new to veteran Everdell players. Hopefully this video gave you enough of an impression to see if it is worth space and time in your gaming collection. This is Jason with the One Stop Co-op Shop, reminding you that we'll see you at the next stop.